Good morning. Just wanted to show for anyone interested in this Newman motor. It's a makeshift Newman motor that I made a while back, and I've since tried using reed switches. I did have just contacts that were made out of wire, and although they lasted a long time, they wasn't real consistent, so I'm trying reed switches. So far, they seem to be okay. I'm not sure if they give off the same effect totally. I don't think so, but enough that you can still see it. When I'm trying to run these batteries dead. These were originally 12 volts. It's about down to I think 9.25 volts. So they're running down. And what I wanted to show, purpose of this video, is I wanted to show the effects. Right now I have these batteries running this fan. And I want to hook up a capacitor in parallel with these batteries and show you what happens to the fan compared to what happens with the Newman motor. Okay, right now I got the positive lead going to the positive of the battery, and the negative of the battery going to the thing. And I also have green wire connected going to the capacitor, and then a green wire connected to the negative that I will put on the capacitor. Okay, so just, of course I got a magnet there, but you can see how fast it's going. If you can hear it, and then I'll put the capacitor. It slows down. It almost stops. I mean, it looks like it's going pretty fast, but it's actually going pretty slow. I don't think it'll stop, but because right now these dead batteries are trying to charge that capacitor, so it actually takes more juice out of the batteries. So I believe that's the reason why it's slowing down. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rehook this up. I'll go ahead and shut off that fan. And I'm going to hook up the batteries to this Newman motor. So I'm going to put you up here for a second so I can have both hands. Okay. So what I'll do, disconnect this totally from the battery. Put the battery in here to help weight it down because I made this whole thing out of styrofoam. Pretty light. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so that's all disconnected. So now I'm going to hook up positive up here. Okay, and negative right here. Should be easier than that. Okay, wait a minute. Alright. Okay, so I got it fixed up. Let's see here. Let's put this. See, this is the positive. I'll hook this up here with the positive. This is the positive from the battery. Now this is the positive from the battery. Too many wires, too many moving parts. Okay, so where did the other green wire go? It's on the floor. Okay. So then from the battery, this is the negative. Okay, so I won't connect that up yet. Okay, I'll bring you back down here. Show you what I got. Hooked up a little switch, and this is the wires from the motor. I have, just so you can see, this is how I have it hooked up. I have the coil from opposite sides hooked up to the positive right here, and it'll go all the way to the battery. Then the two negatives, this one, the white and black wire. You see how I got this now? Okay, yeah, this coil, the negative is going to this side of the reed switch. This coil, the negative, is going to this side of the reed switch, the opposite reed switch. So there's two different reed switches. The positive I have hooked together, and it's coming down here. It's the black wire, or I'm sorry, the negative. It's not the positive. I got wires all different colors, and it's kind of confusing for me. I don't know why I did that, but anyway. So to have it run so it blows out, I had to reverse the polarity, so it turned out to be the opposite. So what I have colored red is actually the negative, and the black is actually the positive. I have the black going through the switch here, so that's actually the positive. Okay, so I'll turn it on now, and okay, so now it's blowing. And it acts a little bit funky. I'm not sure what's... Every now and then it cuts out and takes off. It'll do that a few times and then it'll straighten out. That's just with the batteries. I've ran it for quite a while. It's kind of shaky. Propeller's a little bit out of balance. And here comes the train. Okay, so we'll let it run for a second while the train goes by. Give you some different views. Okay, the horns are done, I guess. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the capacitor, and you won't hear it speed up a lot until I take the capacitor off of it. You'll be able to tell, because when I hook the capacitor up, and the way it pauses right there, when I hook the capacitor up, it seems to quit doing that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and hook the capacitor up now. Maybe I should wait until it's done doing it. Okay. There we go. I don't know if you could tell. It's not real significant to where you can tell, but you can. When I unplug the capacitor, you can really tell. But you can see it's sped up. The opposite of what it did with that motor and any other traditional motor. They're designed to use a lot of energy, and the way I understand this is that these coils are putting off a magnetic field, and the capacitor is using the energy coming off of these coils to feed the capacitor, to help charge the capacitor, which I believe, because when I hook it up to this motor it doesn't do that. So it can't really be the batteries charging the capacitor help running the motor, because it doesn't work like that with any other motor but this motor. So you can see it stopped pausing. It straightened right out. I'm not really sure why, but they say it has something to do with magnetic field. What I'm told is the magnetic field actually extends out quite a ways and can possibly mess up these reed switches, which when I add the capacitor, it adds a little bit more juice, so it changes the magnetic field. Maybe, I don't know, but for some reason it straightens up and doesn't mess up too much. So now I'm going to take off the capacitor. You can hear it slow down. It speeds up kind of gradual, and it with the capacitor, and it actually increases the power. And I know that because it speeds up, because it's under a load with this fan. This fan's actually blowing some air. See, now it starts messing up again. But every time I put the capacitor on, that straightens out. I put the capacitor back on it. And it's rocking and rolling, shaking everything on the table. Okay. So I just wanted to put this out there to show anybody and give you an idea and show you how I did this, in case there's any Newman fans out there that want to try to duplicate this. And I've had some requests to show what I did and dimensions and all the technical, which I can tear it apart and put it back together. If there's any requests for me to do so, I'd, be more than happy to, I guess. But just wanted to throw this out there for any Newman fans. And I got some Bedini work back there, but I'm going to build another Bedini a little bit bigger. But I kind of got sidetracked with some mystical stuff that kind of challenged my beliefs. So I'm back on track now. So thought I would start out making another video on this motor since it got so many views. Alright, well, you guys have an awesome day, and we will talk to you later.